So you wish you had a superpower? You do have a superpower. I have a superpower. It's a natural superpower that we all have to heal, to build, to recover, to slow aging, to even reverse aging. It's a completely natural process, but none of us use it. Very few of us know how to switch it on. Welcome to Shapefixer. I am Andrew Tunstall. I'm your nutritionist. I'm an athlete and I have my superpower. In this video, I am going to explain to you what it is, how it works, and most importantly, how you can switch it on. So don't go anywhere, stick around and watch this video. Right, have you ever heard of autophagy? It comes from the Greek auto, which means self, and phagy, which means to eat. So that sounds a bit horrible, eat yourself, but stay with me and I'll explain to you what this is. This is a process where your body searches around for cells that are damaged, for substances that are in excess or substances that are harmful to you, whether that be chemicals or food or pathogens, even germs that are going to make you ill, old cells, damaged cells, sick cells, breaks them all down, destroys them, dissolves them, and then uses the remains as a food source to rebuild your body in a healthy way, hence self-eating. And the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2016 was awarded for research into and discoveries around autophagy. And I'm going to attach down here somewhere under this video a link to a really interesting scientific review of autophagy and where we are at the moment, where our total body of knowledge is. It will require, I guess, a basic understanding of chemistry or biology. But never mind, if you're not inclined to wade through 17 pages of science homework, then you just watch this video and I will explain to you the basics. Now, autophagy is something that works in your body pretty much all the time. There is some housekeeping going on and general cleaning up, but it runs along at a fairly low background level. And if you can switch that process on and gear it up so that it runs more strongly, then obviously it works much better. But how do we do this? Well, there are ways of doing this. And if we can get it right, our bodies will become much more resistant to infection. We will recover much more quickly when we are ill or when we have injuries, and we will markedly reduce our susceptibility to developing Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancers, all those diseases that we associate with growing older, and generally reverse the aging process. I mean, it will actually even break down old skin so you will be less wrinkly. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Okay, so how does this work? You can stimulate this process with drugs. So the pharmaceutical companies are doing a lot of research into autophagy and how they can stimulate aspects of autophagy to help you fight particular illnesses, because I guess that's what the pharmaceutical company is all about, is developing medicines and treatments. But the problem is that very often these drugs have side effects. Now, an example of a drug, a common drug that is actually actually stimulates autophagy is metformin and some of the other pre-diabetic drugs, the insulin intolerance drugs. So someone who's pre-diabetic, overweight, with a sugar problem, but not yet fully type 2 diabetes, will often be on these drugs. And what these drugs do is they stimulate the body to break down and destroy excess sugar molecules inside your cells. But the side effects of the drugs aren't very pleasant. And just a thought, eat less sugar and you won't have excess sugar inside your cells. So drugs are, though, the point is that there are drugs that can get autophagy to ramp up, but you can do it yourself. And this is the whole point about it being a natural process and why it can be your superpower, because you can increase your autophagy by getting more sleep and better quality of sleep, And there are, obviously, if you're having a problem with sleep, there are strategies around how you can improve your sleep. That's for another video. Exercise really has been shown to stimulate autophagy. As soon as you start getting exercise, 15 or 20 minutes of exercise, and your autophagy gets boosted. And I guess it's part of a recovery, a natural response to exercise to stimulate the recovery process. But the best way to boost autophagy is to stop eating. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and I don't really mean stop eating. Okay, obviously, I need to explain what I mean here. When you are digesting food, your body focuses a lot of resources on that process. Autophagy slows right down. It hardly operates at all when you're digesting food. And if you eat too often, then you are digesting food pretty much all the time, and your autophagy hardly ever gets a chance to switch on and come in and clean you out. So you build up old tissues, you are more susceptible to growing sick cells, you age more quickly. So really you need to give your body that gap, that chance, that time. Autophagy needs a bit of time. And really what it needs once a day is about 16 hours. So if you can go 16 hours, I mean a little more is even better, but 16 is good. Each day, if you have a 16-hour gap in your day that you don't eat, autophagy will be boosted and you will have that superpower. Now, that's not as hard as it sounds, because if you eat dinner at, say, 7 o'clock, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, then 11 o'clock the next morning is already 16 hours. So if you delay your morning meal until 11, then you've had your 16 hours and you will have this superpower, and you will break down cancer cells before you can even possibly be diagnosed. So here's a scary thought. If you're 50 now, say, what do you think your chances are that in 10 years from now you will be diagnosed with some or other form of cancer? And you might say, I don't know, 10%, maybe? Let's say there's a 10% chance that in 10 years from now, you will be diagnosed as having prostate cancer or breast cancer or skin cancer or, God forbid, or even something even worse, but it's possible. If that number is correct, it might be 5%, it might be 15, whatever. Let's just say 10. If there is a 10% chance that you will have cancer in 10 years from now, then there is a 10% chance that you have it right now. Because when cancer first starts, it's not detectable, and it can take many, many years before it gets to a level that it starts to impact your health, and you then go and get tested, and the tests can actually show that the cancer is there. So it's quite possible that you have cancer now, maybe 1 cell or 2 cells or 4 cells, it's that early. You boost your autophagy process. Autophagy destroys those early cancer cells, and you're clear again. And 10 years from now, you won't be diagnosed with cancer. So it's really, really important to let your body do what it's supposed to do and to employ that superpower. And all you need to do is not eat all the time. You just need to give your body a little break. Now, you might say, well, I have to have breakfast, I wake up hungry. I would refer you to some of our videos about carbohydrates, and that will explain why you're waking up hungry. If you're eating carbohydrates with your dinner, you are going to wake up hungry. There's absolutely no doubt about that at all. But if you are cutting down your carbohydrates, and particularly at night, if you have no sugars or carbohydrates with your evening meal, you will not wake up hungry. You will wake up fine. And this idea of what we call intermittent fasting, which is the 16 hours between your dinner and your first meal of the next day, it's not even a thing. I do it because I'm not hungry. It's not something I have to force myself to do. I'm just not interested in food in the morning. I'm just absolutely not hungry, because my body is still burning the fats and the oils from the previous night's dinner, and I'm absolutely fine. I can go running, I can go cycling. I'll eat sort of early afternoon. So intermittent fasting is a brilliant strategy for boosting your superpower that you didn't even know you had, to slow down the aging process, reverse a lot of the symptoms of aging, make you more resistant to disease, give your body the gap that it needs to clean house, to destroy pathogens, to destroy compromised cells, to keep you healthy, to keep you young, and to help you control your weight. Okay, and there you go. Thank you for listening. Please click a like, give this video a thumbs up, share it with somebody else who you think it will help, and remember to subscribe to our channel.